Good morning and welcome to the Sewing Baskets, Quilts and Coffee. Coffee and Quilts, however you want to say it. I guess it's actually Coffee and Quilts. Or am I wrong?
It doesn't matter.
Quilts and
Okay,
Coffee.
Quilts and Coffee. Quilts and Coffee. We wanted to welcome you to our video broadcast, and we would hopefully you get some information from this video and you will come and visit us. The first thing that we're going to talk about this morning is our classes. We are busy getting our class schedule online. The classes that we have ongoing all the time are our Warming Our Warriors quilts, our donation quilts, and our we're going to be doing a Block of the Month quilt. We're beginning that March 12th, and that is on the class schedule on our website, so be sure you check that out. We will also be having our Ladies Night In, and we're also working on classes for our 4-H kids, so be sure to watch the website for that. Caitlin, do you want to talk about Ladies Night In?
Sure. So this month in March we are doing applique towels, and I don't have one here today to show you guys, but it's just going to be a fun night, and we're going to learn how to applique towels, and yeah. It's about 2 hours from 6 to 8.
Totally beginner friendly.
Totally beginner
If
friendly.
you don't know how to run a machine,
Yes.
we'll teach you how to run a sewing machine.
Yep. Okay, another class that we're going to be adding in the future is a Kimberbell class. And Susan will be teaching that class, and she is going to be getting certified this week to teach the Kimberbell.
Yay!
So if Susan wants to talk about that.
Sure. So many of you probably have heard about Kimberbell. What that company is, it's machine embroidery and machine applique with lots of embellishments, and they make over the moon fun stuff to create with our machines and so forth. So I'm super excited. Training will be on Thursday, Friday of this week. And so from that training, then therefore we can host classes here in the store for Kimberbell, and we can also order in all her supplies, but the company's supplies and so forth, to make really fun projects. So look for that coming in the future. We will be keeping you posted on that as we get samples done, and maybe we'll even have some live shots from the Kimberbell event on Thursday and Friday. And so yeah, super excited about that.
So that is machine embroidery, but she also has patterns for if you don't have an embroidery machine, which I was looking at this weekend because she does some really cool like bench pillows, just seasonal things that are really fun for switching out in your home. And so she does have patterns that are, you can just use like heat and bond and applique the stuff on, which I don't really love applique, but I love these projects enough that I would do them. So we'll look into having the embroidery. Obviously we'll have the embroidery option, but we'll look into having the non-embroidery option for some of us that don't have embroidery machines.
And on that note, I might add that also when we have these classes, we will have a limited number of machines with the embroidery function on it that we would be able to use. So if you don't have an embroidery machine and you wish to participate, we will have an option for that as well. So don't worry if you don't have a machine yet. Either you can use one of ours, or we certainly can get you set up with one as well. So,
Okay, you mentioned samples, and Erica is going to talk about our samples that we have coming up, and we've got new exciting things with all of our fabric lines and stuff. So, Erica?
Yes, we're working really hard to have samples in the store and kits in the store for every line of fabric that we have in the store. We're striving to do a quilt and a small project, and so please come in and see. There's lots of beautiful things showing up. We're sewing as fast as we can. This quilt behind us is a half square triangle quilt that we had talked about in our first Quilts and Coffee. It was in progress. It's now complete and beautifully quilted. It's really scrappy, and so it's so fun and cheerful. Susan sewed this sample for the store and quilted it. It's beautiful. We will have kits for that. We also have a project here from Effie's Woods in front of us that uses the panels and a little bit of yardage. It's an easy project. It's a fabulous baby quilt. Just a really nice size.
Can you show the back of that?
Yep.
We put a plain fabric on the back. Most times I patch my backs just for the fun of it. This time we just used a plain fabric on the back. It really turned out super cute.
It's darling. So again, Susan
You can show the whole front.
Yeah, yep, show the panel. It uses, so the panel has two pieces that have words, "You are loved" and "You are cherished," and then it uses the animals also.
Very easy to make. Very,
Yep.
so beginner friendly.
If you have a baby coming.
And
or
this one is
grandbaby.
very girl baby.
Correct.
But you can
Yep.
totally make this one to be boy baby or
Right.
gender neutral.
There's 3 different color lines within this fabric line. So, yep, there's a neutral, there's a boy, a blue, and there's a pink. So it can be done in any of those 3 colorways.
It's beautiful. We also have a sample here that, this is switching gears a little bit, that Carol Gailey sewed for us here at the store. This pattern comes with a table topper and then 4 placemats made out of a jelly roll and a little bit of yardage. Maybe even just some fat quarters. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but it is a really fun project. She did a beautiful job for us. So we'll have that displayed here in the store.
That's a great pattern. You could make that seasonal if you wanted. You could make that out of spring,
Yep,
fall, winter,
yep.
holidays, and that looks super easy. I would imagine that's very beginner friendly.
Yep, I think so.
And it's a quilt as you go, and that makes it even more appealing because then you don't have to bring it to your long armor or try and quilt it yourself. So I really personally like that. That's a great option.
And it's a jelly roll, so you have virtually no cutting. You just go. So that's, I think it's a great option for a beginner or somebody looking to cheer up their dining room for this spring. So that is that project. We have a couple more quilts. This quilt is made out of our Starlight Gatherings line. Should we whoosh it off the front there?
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah, this way is the short way. This quilt is really beautiful, traditionally pieced. The different colors. So you'll see Starlight Gatherings has like 3 shades of blue. And so the quilt just kind of sparkles. It's a star, the quilt just kind of sparkles. The quilting was done by Susan Blair from Farmhouse Quiltery. It is stunning. So please come in and look. Custom quilting, really, really beautiful. And then we used our wide back on the back of that quilt, which is super easy. And then we also have a pattern. This is a Gundren or a GE Designs pattern called Hope. This is one of Susan's private collection. It's just really fun for spring. Should we do it the long way?
Yep.
So this was from Gundren's second quilt along that she had, a virtual quilt along, made from 5-inch squares, super easy, super scrappy. I made it with a contrast fabric. You don't necessarily have to make it with a contrast fabric. You can make this various different ways. When you lay the blocks out, you don't even have to lay them out the way I did. There's numerous different layouts you can use.
So she has information for that on the website.
Correct.
That you can follow along.
Correct. And not only that, she recorded her
Flip the
teaching
back.
sessions from this quilt along, and those are at her website at gedesigns.com.
And then Susan always does, or often does, really fun piece backs with leftover blocks from her project. So you could either do a pillow with that, or you could piece your back and have the back be as beautiful as the front. So we're just, this is one of Susan's private collection, but we just wanted to show you the pattern. I can't quite sew fast enough to do all these right yet. I want to just talk quickly about, I don't want to make this go too long, but, oh, I don't know what happened. Oh, there, 10 minutes. So this ruler has been a great seller for us in the store. We keep selling out, but we have a few again, so race in. a lot of the GE Designs patterns use this stripology ruler. There are 3 sizes. This is the XL. This is the one we recommend buying first. You eventually will probably like all 3 sizes, but it's really amazing for cutting strips and then also squaring up your blocks. And she does really good. She has really good instructions in her patterns for how to use this ruler. And then since we're talking about cutting, some of you have come in and heard us rave about this weighted rotary cutter from Quilter Select. This is another item that we just keep selling out of because it's lovely. It is weighted, so it's ergonomically correct. It's easier to cut through multiple layers of fabric. We have the 60 millimeter for cutting through a lot of fabric, which is what we use. And then we have a 45 millimeter also. And I want to grab this. For any of you that like your foo-foo notions, Ginger does limited edition designer series scissors or shears. And I don't know how long they're around, but I've just made it a practice to collect them whenever they show up. And so I have a few, and this is the latest. It's beautiful. It's got kind of a, I don't know, watercolor paint splotch design. Really modern colors. It's fun. Oh,
There's
have
a
one
different
more clip
size
to show.
for that too, Erica.
Yes,
Yes.
there's also a shorter
And
shears.
it's on back order, but we do have them ordered. They will be in soon. And I'm not sure, Eric, I'm pretty sure that
Sorry.
this is exclusive to fabric stores. And so you won't be able to go necessarily get this in other places, that you have to be a brick and mortar fabric store.
So come see us and grab yours.
We have another quilt that we wanted to show you that we just about forgot, but it is
Thank
such
you.
a beautiful quilt. And we had Alyssa Hayden made this for us, and we just wanted to showcase it again today for
She did
you.
a great job.
It's beautiful.
Mhm.
Yep.
This is out of the same fabric that the placemat and table topper was made out of.
And this is also a jelly roll pattern. So we have some of our pre-cuts displayed up here. If you've never used pre-cuts, come in and visit with us. We'll get you into a pattern and a project. The lovely thing about them is that they're so quick. You unroll and you start sewing. There's hardly any cutting. So Alyssa did a beautiful job on this project, and again, Susan Blair quilted it for us. So we will have the pattern and the kit available for all of these. Well, we'll have the pattern for both. But you can come in and see the project. Yep, so we have a bunch of pre-cuts. All of our lines, we're getting pre-cuts ready. This is a new line that came in that we have not showcased yet. It's called Mary Ann's Gift. It's a reproduction line. We just ordered a few pre-cuts and then some yardage, and then there's a quilt sample in progress for that project.
Okay. Some other new things that we have coming in are flannels.
We
And
do.
Caitlin is going to talk about
We
that.
ordered some really fun flannels in. We're hoping to up our baby blanket game. And this is just one we put together real quick. I haven't washed it, so it's not all, this is a rag quilt, and so the ends will get all soft and snuggly and curly a little bit. So this is just one we made. We're gonna have a couple different options, and you're free to do whatever options you want, but we have some flannels on the way, so stay tuned to check those out.
This is a good way to use your decorative stitches. She used, I don't know how well you'll be able to see that, but she used a zigzag to secure that. You could use any of your fun decorative stitches on your machine.
And I also want to make a point in saying that you don't have to have an expensive machine to do really nice work. Even having a basic beginner machine, Caitlin's machine that she created that one on is a basic machine, and so doesn't have a ton of stitches, but yet it does a beautiful job and it gets done what she wants to do. So But on that note, she is going to learn the embroidery machine today, but don't tell anybody that, but she is going to learn it.
I love to learn. Also, Erica just brought this over. This is the shears I use to make the rag quilt. So the rag quilt, you cut the seams, and that's how it'll get all comfy and cozy. And we do have the shears on hand, and it worked so good. I was at home trying to use a scissors, and then my friends here said, please don't use the scissors. No. And they gave me one of these.
Your hand will fall off.
It worked so well. The scissors really didn't work, actually. So, yeah.
I have something. Oh. I'm going to jump in here a minute if that's okay. I have a basket at the front checkout here, and I call it my favorite things. These are the things that I keep by my sewing machine at all times that I can't really live without. And I want to showcase some of these items in there. No, that's the, that's the
seam
all.
ripper.
Oh, that's
This is
sorry.
So we have two kinds of seam rippers in the shop here. We have the white handled seam ripper and we have the brown handled seam ripper. And the difference between the two basically is the handle and how it feels in your particular hand. And so you can choose which one you would like. Now with that being said, a seam ripper needs to be replaced every so often. So if you haven't replaced yours within the last year, you probably want to throw it away and start with a new one. It goes with the saying as well, with changing your needle every project, you should change your seam ripper rather frequently. And so I like to do these things at the beginning of the year. I like to go through my supplies, take inventory, things like your pins, your sewing machine needles, your seam rippers, and so forth. Those all should be replaced every now and again.
And we have magic pins.
Yep, and I like using the magic pins. I have arthritis in my hands, and so it becomes a little more difficult to grab the pins off of the pin cushion. So these are the ones that I like to use the best because I can grab for them.
They also can be ironed over. The plastic will not melt.
Oh, that's good to know.
But
Silicone?
Yes, yes.
We don't suggest you sew over them though.
No, that's
I
no.
mean, unless you want to live on the edge. We do have sewing machine repair here.
So this is another item that, you know, if you're a nurse or work in the medical world, you would exactly know what this is. This is called a forceps in the
Hemostat.
Hemostat, sorry. Anyway, so I can't do it because it's in the packaging, but this opens up and you can grab a hold of that nasty string that you can't get that's in your bobbin area or underneath your quilt. And with my long arm, it's really nice to have a hemostat so I can get at thread if it bunches up in my bobbin case down below. And so again, we would suggest, this is one of my favorite things that I think everybody should have by their sewing machine.
It's also good to pull the needle through if you can't get it pulled through.
Absolutely. Yeah, those 40-something eyes. Yeah, we do have, with that note as well, we do have needle threaders should you need those, like me. I should have one of those in here. And then we have,
Magic clips.
I don't have my
Wonder
glasses
clips.
on, folks.
The mini,
Sorry.
the mini Wonder clips.
Yeah, these are great. I use the Wonder Clips a lot in lieu of pins many different times, just because they're easier to work with your fingers and so forth. So for us older folks that, you know, have the arthritis.
Or for younger kids, my daughters much prefer Wonder Clips over pins because they don't poke themselves with them.
And we're also, I don't know if we talked about it in the past about Biani bags. We are also going to dive into the Biani products if you've never heard of those. Biani predominantly makes patterns and the supplies to make bags, and I call it luggage and that type of thing. And so we have, 2 items in the works right now as we speak. So you'll be able to see those here sometime soon. And these Wonder Clips will work better with that. And now leading into that with the Biani has a stiletto. I don't have it in here, and I have one of those at home as well. That I use for, you know, bag making and so forth, but I always use a stiletto. And if you don't know what a stiletto is, it's anything really that has a point on it that you can help work your fabric through underneath your presser foot. I really have to giggle because I suppose 30 years ago when I was sewing, I was using a stiletto before it was called a stiletto. I was using my grandmother's awl, if you know what an awl is. And then I also used a knitting machine needle to help feed that fabric through. So like I say, it's anything that has a pointed end. This is called that purple fang. kind of an odd, but this one's super inexpensive. It's $3.99. I tend to like one with a metal end on it, like an awl, but this one certainly will do, and I know a lot of my friends have these as well.
So when you're like this star sample that we showed you earlier, there are some thick seams that you want your points to line up on, and so if you have a stiletto, it just helps when you get to an area where you've got 3 or 4 layers of fabric coming through the needle in a precise point. You just use the end of that stiletto to help guide it underneath your needle so that everything feeds the same speed, and it's brilliant. Yep.
And the last 2 things, Erica has already talked about. The diagonal seam tape, she did a Facebook Live on that. That's something I have on my machines every day. I use that. I have multiple machines at home, and it's on every machine for doing anything that requires a precise 1/4 inch seam allowance. So for example, the half square triangles here, those were triangles we sewed, and I used the diagonal seam tape to make sure that I, kept it straight. And then she already talked about the rotary cutter. I just want to add, with these Quilter Select rotary cutters, they are a little more expensive, but A, they're better made, and B, they're ergonomically set for your hand. You don't have to press as hard. And many of you know that I had worked in physical therapy, and I was a licensed masseuse for a lot of years. And so if you have arthritis in your hands, this cutter will feel better in your hands, and it will cut better because you don't have to press as hard down into the fabric to make it work. And so, it's just like the weighted handles perhaps on carpet knives and that type of thing. They feel better in your hands, and that's why they are weighted. So that's my little thing on that.
And we have a sale.
We have a sale starting tomorrow. It will be anywhere from 25 to 50% off of our Christmas and our Valentine's fabrics. So be sure you come on in and check it out.
And it depends on the bolt,
It
right?
depends on the bolt.
Right? That's how it's decided what's on sale. So.
Yeah. So.
And we do still have a nice selection of clearance fabric that's 40% off. We've got a lot of embroidery designs on sale. We've got some books on sale. I think we even may have a kit or 2 left on sale. So if you're brand new to quilting and you're freaked out about cutting up your fabric, buy one of those, buy a project out of some of that sale fabric or a sale kit, and just build your confidence on a smaller project that is at a really, really good price point. You'll have a beautiful project at the end because you'll do just fine, and then you'll have the confidence to move on to something new, and we'll help you find something new to sell. That's the best part of it.
And there's more to come, folks. We have more fabrics on order, lots and lots and lots of fabric on order. So super excited about that.
And we're getting ready for Shop Hop, so we're getting all new notions in and all new ideas and stuff. So make sure you put that on your calendars to visit us.
When is that, Barb?
April 23 through 30th.
Sure.
A whole week.
It's Crossing Borders Shop Hop. So it will be southern Minnesota and eastern South Dakota.
Yes. Yes. So make sure you stop in and see us and come and see all the exciting samples that we've got going on. And hopefully we'll see you next week.
For more Quilts and Coffee. Thanks for watching today.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.